The Nintendo Switch is without a doubt one of the greatest video game consoles of all time, with one of the most massive and amazing libraries of any console ever. So, coming up with a top 10 list of games was not the easiest thing to do, but I was able to put one together. So, we'll start by quickly getting into my number 10 pick, but before we do, I just want to mention that these are just my personal 10 favorite Nintendo Switch games. Everyone's list is going to look a little different, so feel free to let me know some of your favorite Switch games down in the comments below. My number 10 pick on this list is none other than Fight and Rage. Fight and Rage is an absolutely phenomenal 2D beat 'em up, and honestly, arguably one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time. It arguably has the best gameplay mechanics, beat 'em up action, combat mechanics ever. The soundtrack is phenomenal. The art style looks great, and this game is basically a love letter to the golden age of beat 'em up games like Final Fight, Streets of Rage, and Double Dragon. It has up to 3-player co-op. It has multiple endings and different paths you can go on through the main story, and the gameplay is just top tier. It is very challenging, like the old school games, but it also has the modern day convenience of being able to continue from certain checkpoints rather than having to start over from the beginning. The number 9 game on this list is Fire Emblem Engage. Fire Emblem Engage truly has some of the best and most engaging strategy RPG combat in any game ever. This game is a blast to play. The art style and graphics look absolutely phenomenal, some of the best on the Nintendo Switch. And this is arguably the most underrated first party Nintendo Switch game that there is. It does have some pretty cool, memorable characters, a pretty solid story, and it also does have a great soundtrack as well. And just the whole strategy element of combat in these games just makes it so much fun to me because you really have to think. A lot of people basically call it anime chess. And another thing that I just really like about this game is building your team with different units. There's a lot of different possibilities for your team that you can play with. You're constantly recruiting different party members, so you get a lot of customization options with that, leading to replay value. This is a really great game. Game number 8 on this list is Catherine Full Body. With a mix of different addictive gameplay mechanics, this game is truly the full package. The puzzle platforming, the story, and the life sim elements in this game are all equally as addictive and fun. The story in this game is absolutely phenomenal and makes you want to keep playing so you can see what is going to happen next even after playing the game more than once, because this game has different paths that you can go on, and I believe over 13 different endings. So that leaves a lot of room for replay value. This game is very memorable. After I played it, I just kept on thinking about the story and the characters. It's a lot of fun. It's wacky. It definitely has that creepy horror element to it though, and it's definitely a mature game for a reason, so I don't recommend it for the little ones. But for those 18 and up who are not afraid of a more adult video game, this game is absolutely phenomenal. Catherine Fullbody also has one of the most amazing video game soundtracks ever, and it also has really cool and amazing anime cutscenes. Streets of Rage 4 is truly the video game that started the modern renaissance of 2D beat 'em ups in the modern era, and it deserves all the credit for that. This game is absolutely phenomenal. The gameplay and combat mechanics are top tier. The stages also are what makes it one of the best beat 'em ups of all time, in my opinion. A really good variety of stages. It has really good variety of enemies as well, an amazing soundtrack, a ton of playable characters, over 17 in the base game. Some of them are in the old pixel style from the older Streets of Rage games and play just like those characters. And this game is just so fun. It's so fun to play with up to 4 players locally, and you also can play online with it as well. The DLC that this game got as well, Mr. X's Nightmare, which is on the physical copy for the anniversary version. Makes this game even better with a new survival mode with RPG elements that you can get after surviving each wave of enemies. You get an upgrade and also add some really cool new characters to the game, like Rue from Streets of Rage 3, who, in my opinion, is the funnest character to play as in any beat 'em up ever. He's really fast paced, really strong, just a ton of fun to play as. And I have a lot of memories playing Streets of Rage 4 with friends and family. It is a great game for that. Although it's rated teen and it does have some animated violence, it's nothing over the top or crazy. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is truly a wonderful game. And while some of the new Super Mario Bros. Games were pretty good, none came as close to the greatness of the classics like Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World, like Super Mario Bros. Wonder does. This gave the series a fresh new start and a phenomenal entry in this long running, classic, all time great video game series. This is one of the best 2D Mario games, arguably up there with the likes of Super Mario World. The gameplay in this one is really fresh with the new Wonder Flower mechanics. You get all kind of wacky abilities and different things going on with the stages. The art style is phenomenal. The music is great. But what really separates this Mario game from all the other 2D Mario games is the fact that the multiplayer is absolutely phenomenal. It's the best it's ever been. It's top tier. It's so much fun to play local co-op with up to 4 players. And even the online co-op works as well, really good, because you can save each other for those hard levels for those who want to do that. But if you want more of the traditional difficulty, you can just play offline. This game has a good mix of the difficulty, with it being kind of easy enough for anybody to play through the main game, but it does have those secret stages that really ramp up the difficulty for the veteran players who want that, and they are a lot of fun and offer a lot of challenge as well. Another thing that I think is so wonderful about this game is how the overworld map has a lot of little cool secrets in there to explore and discover as well. Super Smash Bros. Is a video game series that I've been playing since the first entry back on the N64, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is truly the ultimate Super Smash Bros. Game and the ultimate fighting game on any Nintendo console. With over 70 fighters and over 100 stages, truly everyone and everything you need to have a phenomenal time with this game is here. The online, although not perfect in this game, is the best it's ever been in the series, and it is a lot of fun. I also like how you can now play co-op online, which is a blast as well. I'm not sure if that was on Super Smash Bros. Wii U because I never owned Wii U, but it's a really nice addition to have here. And I also like how you can play through the single player campaign co-op as well. This game is a blast to play online and offline, has a ton of fighters, a ton of content. Splatoon 3 is actually my #1 most played game of 2024, and that is for good reason, because this game is just a ton of fun and it is absolutely addictive. This game is a third-person shooter, competitive online multiplayer game, but it also has a really good story mode and single player campaign as well. Now, my favorite mode in this game is the traditional turf war, where you play 4 versus 4, and basically whoever inks up the most turf on the map wins the match. But of course, you're going to want to survive, avoid getting splatted, and make sure to splat your enemies so you can ink more of the map than them. It also has a co-op mode, which is really fun as well, which is Grizzco or Salmon Run, where you play with a team of 3 other players against enemies and bosses, and it really gets really ramped up, where you fight some really epic boss battles. The music in this game is cool, although it's goofy. The graphics are really good. The online is a ton of fun, really addictive, and this is one of my favorite video games of all time. So we're now getting to the top 3 games on this list. So it's getting really tough for me, because really any of these games I could put at #1. But for my #3 pick, I'm gonna go with Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. Where Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance truly outshines most other video games and JRPGs, especially, is that the turn based combat system in this game is absolutely top tier, probably the best ever made. It really makes use of all the mechanics like buffs, debuffs, weaknesses, status elements. It is very challenging, very engaging. You take advantage of enemy weaknesses to get extra turns in battles, but they can also do the same to you, which really keeps you on your toes, really makes it a lot of fun, a lot of challenge. The boss battles in this game will really make you think and really make you take use of the mechanics that it offers you in this game. Recruiting and fusing demons is so much fun, kind of similar to Pokemon. You recruit angels, demons, mythical gods, fairies, all kind of stuff like that, and you can also fuse them to make newer and stronger ones as well. The story is really good. This game is just one that I cannot recommend enough. It has a ton of gameplay to offer you. You can easily spend around 100 hours on this game if you play on the hard difficulty, but if you want to go for something lighter, I don't blame you. You will still find yourself immersed in this game, spending a lot of time enjoying it. The number two game on this list is one that I was very immersed in, and I easily spent well over 100 hours playing and enjoying. And that game is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. When I played this game and I explored the vast and rich open world, I was truly wowed. I truly had that childlike experience of playing something and just being so amazed, immersed, and mesmerized by. The gameplay in this game is top tier. I absolutely love the action combat, how you can dodge at the right time and then time slows down and you get to get all those extra hits in. It's very engaging, very fun. I love the graphics and art style of this game. The open world exploration is a lot of fun, and even the puzzle solving mechanics are really fun in this game as well. Exploring different shrines, finding different ways to be able to solve the puzzle in there, and there not just being one set in stone way to solve the puzzles, also makes this game really fun and more accessible to more people. The story, while light, is still solid, and this game is just so much fun. The music, although more subtle than other Legend of Zelda soundtracks, is still really good as well. This is a game that I was just really addicted to. This is the game that really made me start loving the Nintendo Switch when I got it. It is also one of the most influential and best video games of all time, hands down. The number one game on this list is truly the game that I believe is the greatest Nintendo Switch game of all time and truly one of the greatest games of all time, point blank, period. And that game is Fire Emblem Three Houses. First of all, this game has such a great story, such great and memorable characters. It really makes you care about the characters. It really makes you care about the story and want to see what is going to happen next. And this game just has that magical feeling with the animation, the anime cutscenes, and the absolutely phenomenal soundtrack. Arguably has the greatest video game soundtrack of all time. The soundtrack can really hit you in your feels and really makes you immersed in this medieval high fantasy world. Fire Emblem Three Houses also has a ton of replay ability with the fact that you can customize your units in different ways and build different teams with different units, put them in different classes, and also because of the fact that there's like four different endings for this game, there is a lot to see. And also the strategy RPG turn-based combat is a lot of fun as well. It's really addicting, and this is just a game that I could not get enough of and still can't get enough of because I've beat it about 3 different times, but there's still one more ending that I need to see, and that will be my playthrough on the Blue Lions route. And I forgot I haven't even played the DLC, and I have already put hundreds of hours into this game. Also, this is the game that really got me into JRPGs. Growing up, I really only played Pokemon, but this game on the Nintendo Switch made me want to explore more of the genre, so I have to credit it for that. And this is such a memorable legendary game, a lot of people's favorite game, one that really put strategy RPGs and Fire Emblem on the map as a whole. So while Fire Emblem Three Houses may not have the best graphics, it does have absolutely phenomenal presentation and art direction with the best soundtrack, some of the best voice acting in any video game ever, and awesome anime cutscenes. So those are just some reasons why this is my number one Nintendo Switch game of all time. But that is it for this list. I really appreciate you watching so much. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Hit that notification bell. I really appreciate you watching. Until the next time, catch you later.